In a world where external validation often dictates our sense of worth, it's easy to lose sight of our intrinsic value as individuals. From societal pressures to personal insecurities, the journey to self-worth can feel like an uphill battle. However, buried within each of us lies the key to unlock our sense of self-worth. Come with me on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment. What you just heard is a snippet of the ebook I wrote that dives deeper into today's subject, which is self-worth. If you want to read the book, you can find the link in the description box below, and I also made a practical workbook. Hi guys, welcome to the Fourth Girl Project. My name is Chris, and on this side of the internet, we talk about everything personal development, mindfulness, sometimes a little bit of spirituality, and we might sprinkle some lifestyle in it, you know. So if you're interested in these topics, go ahead and subscribe, I guess. In today's video, I want to discuss with you the 5 keys to realize and unlock your self-worth. Self-worth is really the basis of self-love when you think about it. Realizing your self-worth, knowing who you are, knowing that nothing can change your value is really the strongest fundament you can have to build your self-love. So I really wanted to start on the basis of everything, which to me is self-worth. Now, the first key that I want to share with you is understanding what is self-worth. And I have a definition for you. According to the University of North Carolina, Wilmington, self-worth is the internal sense of being good enough and worthy of love and belonging from others. What's very important to understand here is that self-worth is your inherent value. This means that you came into this world with this unmeasurable value. It is really an unshakable foundation. You should know this because once you realize it, you should see your self-worth as an unshakable foundation. It needs to be one of your core beliefs that you came into this life with unmeasurable value once again. And the reason why each and every one of us has this unmeasurable value is because we share the same human experience. We are all capable of love and experiencing love. We all deal with pain, hurt, frustration, anger. It really doesn't matter in what social class you are or in which part of the world you live in. Each and every one of us has at some point battled some inside battles or even some outside hard conditions. You have to understand that each and every one of us, no matter how our lives look like, one thing that we all have in common is the internal battles of feeling our emotions, of sometimes not being able to deal with our emotions. And this is something that everybody at some point has to learn. And this is why some people at some point change. It's because they have learned to manage their emotions, manage who they are, get to know who they are, realize their self-worth. Now that we understand a little bit more what self-worth is, we need to make a very important distinction with self-esteem. Contrary to self-worth, self-esteem is a measurable value. Self-esteem is something that is built upon your external achievements, possessions, and even what others might think of you. And this brings up another difference between self-worth and self-esteem, is that self-esteem, because it is based upon external factors, it might be a little wobbly sometimes because self-esteem depends on each and everyone's own perception and experience, while self-worth is something that we all share, like the common human experience. I have a little exercise for you. Maybe you would want to make a list of all the things that you base your self-esteem on. An example would be, for me, my achievements in life, like at school, at work, in my music, because I love to sing. What is it for you? While you're making this list, you're going to have to exercise something called self-acceptance. And self-acceptance is the act of looking at yourself in the mirror and looking at your whole self, the light and the dark side of yourself. And really, don't be scared to look at your dark side, because you now know that you have an unmeasurable intrinsic value. Trust yourself to be a good person. Trust yourself to have good intentions. And remember, we all share the human experience. This means that there is some darkness in all of us. So never be scared to look at your dark side, because it is what makes you you. Do not have any judgment or any resistance towards who you are, because it is only once you know who you really are that you can start making better choices and becoming a better person. Remember that our lives are the result of paradigms and our humanness. Even though we have to take responsibility, which can sometimes be hard, we have to be honest with ourselves and realize that our lives is the result of our own choices. But also remember that we always did our best. You always did your best. Everybody always does their best. There is nobody in this world that doesn't want to be happy or that is not looking for happiness. It's just that because of the paradigms, because of the hurt, because of whatever happened in their past, they have some type of belief system that has created some type of ecosystem in which they protect themselves, and this translates into making choices that are not always the best. But the core of their intention is always to feel love, feel belonging, and unfortunately sometimes it just doesn't translate like that. But by taking responsibility for where you are now, you are taking back the power. You are taking back your power. So look at who you fully are in the mirror, learn from it, and make other choices. And I know it's always so much easier said than done, but this is why I'm here to help you. I will be having so much content about tips and tricks on how to change bad habits, on how to change your mindset, so definitely stick around. In my ebook, I also give so much more information on this topic, and there's also a workbook, so you can definitely check that out and start working on yourself right now. Now, self-compassion is the acknowledgement of your emotions and your experiences without any judgment. One way that you can show yourself self-compassion is by imagining that you are talking to your 8-year-old self or your 5-year-old self. Talk to this younger version of yourself and try to understand and go back to how they were thinking, how they were feeling, and most of all, what they needed. And try to give yourself that what you needed. Realize and see that you indeed did your best. Try to go back in time and look at when you started creating those mechanisms that today don't serve you anymore. And talk to yourself, explain to your past self why these mechanisms don't work for you anymore, and watch your inner self letting go little by little of these mechanisms. We all have this very extremely critical voice. I mean, I know I do. And we also have this kinder voice. We also have this little voice. And for some people, it's so tiny. I mean, I remember myself when I was really, really, really in a bad place. It was so hard for me to find compassion for myself. It was so hard for me to hear that little voice that was saying to myself, "You're being hard on yourself. You don't have to talk to yourself this way. You can be kind to yourself." And I have to be honest with you, although it was really hard for me to hear that voice, I always felt it was there. And I really hope that if you are going through something right now, that you can hear this little voice and really, really, really find it in yourself, because I know that that voice is in each and every one of us. Even though it's hard to hear, I know this voice is there inside of you. And try to tune in with that voice more often. Try to listen to that voice a little more often. Try to connect with that voice a little more often. Now, there are 3 components to self-compassion. The first one is self-kindness. This means that you treat yourself with kindness, care, and understanding. The second part is mindfulness. And here you want to be fully present with yourself. You want to be present with your emotions and your thoughts. And a way to access that mental space is through meditation. While you are meditating, while you are taking those deep breaths, try to locate in your body where you are feeling something, because you physically feel your emotions. But sometimes it's been so long that we haven't connected to them that we don't remember and we can't locate them. So in moments when you are meditating, try to feel inside your body where you're feeling good, where you're feeling bad, and try to talk to yourself. Try to reconnect with your body and your emotions. And the third part is common humanity. This is the part where you realize that imperfection and suffering is just part of everybody's experience. And when you realize this, it opens up a door for you to have more compassion towards yourself. In other words, self-acceptance and self-compassion is like treating yourself like a dear friend, somebody that you care for, somebody that you want the best for. And really looking at it like that for myself, it really helped me to have more self-acceptance and self-compassion, because indeed, half of the things, not even half of the things, like a good 90% of the things I was saying to myself in my head, I would never say to anybody I care about. And I realized, damn, like I'm really mean. Like, it's not okay. We need to change that. Now, the third key to unlocking your self-worth is setting boundaries. And for a lot of people, this can feel very uncomfortable in the beginning. But I want to mention 2 great benefits of setting boundaries. The first one is that you are safeguarding your emotional and mental well-being, very important. And the second benefit is that you display a lot of self-respect and you show people how to treat you. Because always remember, people will treat you how you treat you. And once you start setting boundaries in your life, you will start seeing people running out of your life. And that is really a good thing. Let me tell you, the best people for you will respect your boundaries. The best people you can have around you will be a safe place for you to explore your own identity, which is very important. It is through these right people, it is through the right network of people that you will be able to affirm your intrinsic value. Because it's one thing to know that you have intrinsic value, but you have to be able to affirm that intrinsic value. And while you are exploring your own identity, you need people around you who are going to show you unconditional love and will give you positive or sometimes even negative, but always reinforcement, so that you can become the best version of yourself. I mean, in short, what I'm saying is you need to have people around you who really care about you, who give you the freedom of being yourself, your true self, and who accept you for you. It is not okay for you to have people around you with who you have to walk on eggshells with. Walking on eggshells around people really puts you in a box where you cannot express yourself, and that is so unhealthy. And if you do this, it would be so hard for you to realize and unlock your self-worth. Now, I'm mostly talking about friendships and families, but of course, A healthy network of people also include professional help if needed. And research has shown that there is a correlation between emancipation and a healthy network of people. So don't be afraid to start setting boundaries, because there is only good on the other side for you. The fourth key, we're almost at the end, but the fourth key to unlock your self-worth is the impact of negative self-talk. Let's discuss negative self-talk for a moment, because I feel like everybody knows that negative self-talk is not good, but a lot of us still do it. And I think we still do it because we don't really understand the depth of the negativity that it brings upon ourselves. I mean, if you only look at the emotional pain that we inflict ourselves through negative self-talk, is, like I just said, I was so mean to myself. It was something I would never subject anybody to. So why subject it to myself? Because not only did it perpetuate feelings of inadequacy, doubt, fear, but it also completely distorted my perception of reality. When I look back now at situations in my past and the way I was seeing them through that negative lens, I am so shook. So, of course, that I was having mental health problems because I was being so negative towards myself, and it was a vicious cycle of being negative towards myself and then feeling guilty about it and then blaming myself even more about it. Oh my goodness, it was bad. It was bad. One of the main things I had to do, which was actually really hard, but I had to do it, was reframing my negative self-thoughts. Negative self-thoughts. And reframing those negative thoughts goes through 4 stages. The first one is you have to become aware of the negative thought. Once you are aware of the negative thought, you're going to question it, check its validity, find proof in your reality that contradicts the negative thought. And when you have contradicted the negative thought with proof from your reality, you are going to counteract with a positive affirmation. And the 4th and last step is cognitive reconstruction. And this is where you use this positive affirmation to replace the negative thought every time this negative thought comes up. And this whole system, these 4 steps, you are going to repeat them every time you have a negative thought. Now, how did I do it? Every time I would have a negative thought, I would sit down, I would inhale the positive thought, the positive affirmation, and I would exhale the negative thought. And I would do this for about 10 times. And then I would also really try to believe it, because somewhere deep in me, I know it's true. It's just my emotions and my body and my whole being is going through it and it's changing. And, you know, the body is always looking for where it feels more comfortable. So I've been miserable but comfortable in my misery. So of course, when I want to step out of it, my brain is going to be like, what is going on? Error. So don't worry, it might feel uncomfortable in the beginning, but trust me, if you do this consistently, you will start to believe the positive affirmations, and the negative thoughts are going to fade away like a cloud. It will maybe still be there, but on bright days, it will not even be there. But there might be some heavier, darker days, and then the cloud will be back. But you will be armed with this 4-step mechanism. Become aware of the negative thought, question the negative thought, contradict the negative thought, and make it your reality. Okay guys, we have arrived to the last key, the 5th key of unlocking your self-worth. And this is my personal favorite part, and this is self-improvement and development. Once you start really embracing new experiences, new challenges, you will start to amaze yourself. And I know for a lot of people, and myself included, in the beginning, facing new challenges was something that was not sexy at all. I did not want to do it. I did not understand, why does life have to be hard? Why must we go through challenges? Why can it not be just cool as a breeze, you know? But then I realized that I have to redefine not only the word challenge, but also the word failure. Because see, is it really a failure when you've learned something? I don't think so. I personally don't think so. And it took me realizing this to be able to embrace new challenges and go through new experiences, which might feel uncomfortable in the beginning, but I have always learned from anything I started. And I mean, trust me when I tell you, I've started a lot and I haven't finished most of it. But in the process of just, feeling that fire of starting something, I have learned so much and I have grown so much just from, watching YouTube videos. I love to read, personal development books. I know, so cliche, but I mean, it's what I like. What I'm trying to say here is, once you have redefined facing challenges, once you have redefined being uncomfortable and failure, you will start to see that life really is a game and you have the tools to succeed. You have the tools to build and create the life that you want. Now, of course, once you start working on your personal development, it is very important to celebrate your successes and even the smallest one. When I tell you, there was a time where I celebrated getting out of bed. It was that bad. And then I had to celebrate taking a shower. And then I had to celebrate brushing my teeth. And then I had to celebrate going outside just for a walk and just, get some air. Even the smallest wins you have to celebrate, because this will give you fuel to continue to do better for yourself. Now, like I said, start small. Start small. If right now you're having a hard time just getting out of bed, celebrate a day when you get out of bed and build it up little by little. And I promise you, if you just believe in yourself, and I'm not saying that every day you need to do better than the day before, because honestly, to me, that is bullshit. Everybody is saying, oh, go for 1% better every day. Girl, sometimes it's just not possible. Like for me, honestly, there was one day where I would get out of bed and then 3 days where I would stay in bed. But I had to celebrate that one day and I had to be grateful for that one day, for those 3 other days, because it's just life. It's just reality. Like, for real, I don't understand people who tell you to do better ideally, yes. Ideally, yes, of course. But in reality, it was so much harder. Right now, I'm at a point where, yes, I can be better 1% every day right now, because I like the hardest is behind me. I think I've built a certain mindset which sets me way ahead of where I was. But back then, nobody could tell me to get better every day. It wasn't possible. There was just some day it wasn't, like, especially being a woman, when my period would come, it was hard. It was hard. I could not do better. But yeah, I'm saying all this to say, start small, build it up, and just keep on believing in yourself. Keep on trying. Don't let go of trying, and love yourself even on the days where trying is really hard, even on the days where you feel like, oh, I could have done something, but I did nothing. Just you realizing that you wanted to do something, that you wish you did better, is already something. As long as you want to do better, you are on the right track. As long as it really comes from your heart, as long as you're really determined, even though you're still battling with old paradigms and old habits, as long as the desire is there, I promise you there will be a way. And you don't have to grow at any kind of pace. Grow at your own pace, and I promise you, you will get there. Your worth is inherent and unshakable, transcending external validations or societal standards. Trust in your uniqueness and infinite potential within you to create a life filled with purpose and authenticity. Embrace your imperfections as facets of your beautiful, multifaceted being and celebrate the journey of love. As you might have guessed from this video, I also went through very hard times, and I really wanted to help somebody out there because I was looking for so much guidance. And I don't know, like I said, I'm just trying to be the person that the younger self, my younger self, needed. Thank you so much, guys, for staying until the end of this video. Like I said, you can find the whole ebook and the workbook in the description box below. My personal motto is drink water and love each other. See you in the next one. Bye.